My 21 male, girlfriend, 21 female, of 8 years said she has feelings for my friend, 21 male. My 21 male, now ex-girlfriend, 21 female, had been together since 7th grade. We were very young at the time and dated for about a year and a half. In 10th grade, 2017, I had realized I still possibly had some feelings for her and we decided to get back together. We went through many life changes together, such as graduating, moving out of our parents, having sex for the very first time, and all the other things that occur as we grew up, and it was amazing. In 2021, I started a new job and met a coworker, 21 male, who turned into one of our best friends. He was raised in Saudi Arabia, so he had very strong viewpoints on certain things such as cheating and had strong morals. He helped my girlfriend get a job at his work when her and I moved into our first apartment together. Around this time we also got 3 cats who we love very much. They did not have a demanding job, so they usually ended up talking and hanging out all day, and I would usually talk to her throughout the day too, because we were always communicating and loved to talk. This was never really an issue, but slowly over the course of the last 6 months they grew to be close friends as well. Since their work was so close to our house, he usually ended up coming over after his shifts and we would all hang out. Starting around February, my girlfriend began to say that she was having these feelings and she couldn't explain because nobody would understand. This turned into her drinking heavily to deal with it. She even cut herself on the wrists a couple times, so I could see there was something deeper going on. She was never the type to do this. Over the last couple months, I could tell that it was taking a toll on her, and she opened up to me about how her feelings were about our friend. She said he was in her head all the time and she was so confused about everything. She also said she feels like our spark was not like it was at the beginning of the relationship, but she still wanted us to be closer. Our friend was an adventurous person by nature, and always wanted to go out to places and do stuff. Unfortunately at the time I was not being the partner I should and never really helped her around the house with cleaning or chores in general. She always got so frustrated about it. I could tell that our friend was over almost all the time, but I enjoyed being with him and we were like brothers. Sometimes I would go to sleep and my girlfriend would hang out with him for a couple hours after, and even a couple times stayed up all night talking to him, but she was always truthful to me and said nothing physical ever happened, and he said the same. He told me I was his brother and he views us as family. Throughout all this I could see she was talking to him more and he was always in her head. We had talks about how we needed to focus on our relationship between us two, and go out and do things to make us stronger. I started becoming a better partner and was doing my household duties to help bring us closer. She even quit drinking completely to try and help the situation. Even on her 21st birthday a couple weeks ago she did not drink. Unfortunately I could see that he was still in her head. She communicated this to him too, and he said he was going to step back and let us work it out, and that he felt horrible. This was short-lived as he just usually ended up coming over anyways because we both wanted to see him. Looking back now I should have put my foot down and not let him come around anymore. About a week ago, she told me that she is so confused about everything and she loves me, but recently she has not been feeling as strongly towards our relationship and she hated herself for the way she was always thinking about him. She brought up breaking up and said she wants to stop hurting me and that she is so confused. That night we went out for a walk and out to eat and to a movie, but I could still see she was thinking about everything. The next day she brought it up again over text, and said that she thinks we needed to be done. I texted our friend and he was very upset and said we were too good for each other. I asked him if he felt the same way about her and he said he loves her as a person and a friend but could never do that. She went up to the city where he lives, where we used to live, which is about 30 minutes away to clear her mind. She even bought alcohol and said she felt that she needed it to clear her mind, and went for a walk alone. She then went to a place where our friend was having a barbecue with his friends and she started talking to him about everything. He was talking to me at the same time saying he was trying to get her to come back and talk to me, but she refused. She said she needed to stay up there to think about things, and said she was gonna sleep in her car instead of come back down. Me being a caring boyfriend, I didn't want this because the city is not necessarily safe, so when my friend told me she could stay at his place, he lives with friends, and he would sleep in a different room, I was frustrated but allowed it because of what he had told me earlier that day about not having feelings for her etc. The next day I tried getting her to come back and talk about what she wanted to do, but she said she couldn't and stayed another night. I was distraught because I knew our relationship was potentially coming to an end. The next day, she came back down. I met her at the Target parking lot, where she was hysterical and admitted that my friend did not sleep on the couch, and they ended up kissing and having sex. I asked if he used protection, because we had never done it without a condom before, and she said no. This hurt me worse knowing that he experienced something with her that I never did. She said she's so confused and she messed up and I would never want to be with her anymore, but she still loves me. But she understood things had to be over. We have been separate for the past couple days, and have been texting about our plans for the animals and living situations. She's also been saying how sorry she is and she's having a hard time grieving. We still care for each other and want everything to end as smoothly as possible. As for me, I am completely broken and told our friend I will never be speaking to him again. He didn't have much to say and I could tell he felt bad. He admitted that it happened 2 times. Once each night. This made it worse. I have been feeling horrible and detached and heartbroken that she will not be in my life anymore. I know that she has stayed at his house for the past couple days since she told me everything, which makes me feel bad as well. I love her so much still and would do anything to be with her again, but know that we cannot get back together. I feel as if I will never love again and I lost my best friend in my life. Any advice on how to proceed with this situation would be helpful, as this is extremely hard for me to process and I don't know how to move forward with my life. Too long did not read. My girlfriend of 8 years recently revealed she had an attraction to our friend. She decided we should break up but didn't fully end things. She then slept with him and we have since broken up. I still love her so much but know we can't be together. I feel like my whole life is falling apart. Advice on how to move forward. My dude. 21 is such a young age. You'll definitely meet more and much better girls than her. You'll need to cut ties with him and her entirely, possibly change locations if you can. This will help a lot in the healing process. Out of sight, out of mind. Stay single for a few months and then consider dating again. I know it sounds hard at first but trust me, you'll realize years from now that that girl wasn't meant for you anyway. Been there, done that, and in a much happier relationship than before. You need to wish them a happy life and cut them off completely, just block them and move on. And you need to realize that the guy wasn't your friend and he definitely wasn't trying to convince her to go home to you, otherwise they wouldn't have slept together. This was his plan all along. Walk away from both of them. Get busy focusing on yourself and reaching your goals. Reach out to friends, stay active, and don't look back. It's past time to be moving on from the girlfriend you picked when you were 13. They're both trash and leave them out on the street where they belong. You're 21, you'll bounce back. 26 male, broke up with girlfriend, 26 female, for cheating. Been dating for 7 years. We both agreed years ago not to have friends of the opposite gender. Saturday she was doing something on her phone in the bathroom and locked the door. Locking the door is very unusual behavior considering she openly goes to the bathroom around me. So locking the door after walking in there with her phone and not using the actual bathroom was odd. I asked to see her phone. I pulled up Snapchat and went to see all contacts and saw a guy's name pop up. This was to see if any contacts were saved under fake names. Sure enough, found the contact saved under no name. Months prior I had written down the same number because she got a call from the number exactly the time she was supposed to get off work and I had surprised her and came and picked her up. It was a dude's voice and he reacted super weird when I answered the phone. Having no other proof of anything, I let it go when they both claimed it was a wrong number. Now months later, I see the same number saved as a contact with no name. Previously I had checked a week ago and this number was not a contact. This proves the contact was made recently, so it wasn't saved on there from months ago. My viewpoint is, how likely is it that this is a coincidence? Highly unlikely. Once I found the contact she first tried to say there never was a contact. I took a picture, so then the story was that she must have accidentally added it. But how? How would that number be even in her call log months later? So I call the dude and he does not sound surprised to hear from me at all. She told me just ask him and he'll tell you I don't know him. Suspicious she coached him at this point. So I tell him, look, if you want the girl you can have her. I won't react violently or anything, just leave you to be. And he says yes, they have been together for 2 years now. He says this very matter-of-factly. I call her up and tell her I am breaking up with her. And then on top of that found a Snapchat account under her name made during the time we were together, which she denied making entirely even though it was under her full name. I'm concluding I'm being cheated on from the evidence. One saved contact of a guy who was a wrong number supposedly, but also called 3 times exactly at the time she got off work on a day she said she was too tired to hang out after work, but I surprised her with a ride home, and exactly at the minute she was supposed to get off the guy calls 3 times. 2 finding same number saved months later. She regularly deletes her call log so she wouldn't have accidentally saved it. 3 a week prior the contact was not there. 4 she tried to gaslight me that I saw the contact list wrong, but I took a picture and she changed her story. 5 called the guy and he claims they've been seeing each other for 2 years. 6 strange Snapchats saved under her full name she claims to have no knowledge of. Like really? 7 after being caught with the contact on her phone after locking herself in the bathroom for like the first time in years and not using the sink or toilet. She then immediately left my house when I tried to message the guy from her phone to see if he responded casually or not. Instead of trying to find the contact or number that Snapchat was showing as a guy I don't know, she just said Snapchat is glitching and no contact exists with a guy's number. So that kind of shows me that she was aware of why it was showing up, because if you were being accused of hiding a guy's contact in your phone, wouldn't you immediately try to figure it out instead of deer in headlights complete denial of material facts? 8 she has cheated on me before in the first few years of our relationship, and when she did she just tried to gaslight me that nothing was wrong until I flat out had hard material evidence. Then she admitted yes I slept with him but only once. And that changed to yeah I've been seeing him once a week etc. I'm sorry for this long post, I just wanted to see if anyone agrees this is not just paranoia. I broke up with her because even if she's not cheating, the fact I don't trust her means the relationship is over anyway. I know pretty much all of this is circumstantial evidence towards cheating and she won't admit to it. So what I'm asking for is if I'm thinking logically here, because I've been gaslit in the past and it makes you feel like you're insane when you're actually right, and if I'm wrong about all this I just ruined my relationship forever. Nah, you're good. Your only mistake was not dumping her the first time you caught her fucking other guys. Dude, paranoia? Your girlfriend is a serial cheater yet you're staying with her for some reason? Why go through all of this? Why do all this digging? You know she was cheating on you continually in the past and you stayed. Now you have all this evidence of cheating this time. Just leave, dude. You did right. She cheated before and she's being sketchy now. You gave her a second chance and as part of that you had rules. She broke those rules while being sketchy. Sounds like an ironclad case against her. And even if it wasn't, you aren't married and don't have kids. Else they'd be mentioned. So better to break up now and find someone you can trust. M8. She cheated on you before and you forgave her. This is for you to learn. Once a cheater, always a cheater. My 29M girlfriend, 29F, has no ambition and it's starting to hurt me mentally. To begin, she is a great and supportive person, which is what anyone would want, but when it comes to conversation, lately I've noticed that she's essentially all talk in what she wants to do with her life. It's the same answer at times where she'll say, I don't know but I know I want you. It's nice to hear but it's worrying. For the longest, she's been telling me she's going to go to school and run her own business but hasn't done anything to get her to that point. I've tried just sitting down with her to hopefully see if she'll fill out government aid forms but she keeps giving excuses. One day I told her honestly, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom just tell me so I can change career paths to support that lifestyle. She refused and stated that she will go to school and that I shouldn't be so concerned about education and finances in a relationship. This was 4 years ago and I honestly do not know if she's serious anymore. The thing is I have informed her that I can also help pay so she can go to school but she's worried about owing me. I was willing to get a piece of paper stating that she won't owe me at all, but that wasn't enough. She wants to be independent, which is great, but, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems unrealistic. She wants to work until she can fully pay off the tuition for a school she chose so she doesn't owe money, which is again fine. The problem is she is 29 and is working a $10.12 per hour job. The school she wants to go to is $50,000 plus per semester and she hasn't filled out any government aid. I don't know what to do but it hurts because I love her so much but I just don't understand this. She wants to start having kids around 30 and she thinks that if we pray and believe in God we can do it and I'm losing it. I know for a fact that we can't afford that comfortably. Any advice helps. Unless that program is for some kind of medical profession, it seems insane to me to take on a $200,000 debt when you are almost 30 and want kids. She will never make that back. She needs to make a decision. She's an adult. Does she want to be a stay-at-home mom and have babies with you? If that's what you want, and I see nothing wrong with that if you make the choice together. Or does she want a career? Also, she might want to spend her life in a low-income job, and that's okay too, but she needs to tell you. God is not going to buy formula and diapers. Maybe she's telling you what you want to hear. Look at her actions, not her words. Are her actions the actions of the partner you want? Make a decision based off that. I, 30F. Think I'm no longer in love with my boyfriend, 32 meters. I have been asking him to marry me from last 3 years. After me pestering him for more than a year, he said yes. But then I had to call off the wedding last year because I had all this build-up resentment inside me against him because he couldn't understand what I was going through. He made me wait for so long, and finally when it was going to happen, he said something stupid and disrespectful, or I rather misunderstood the situation, which led me to take such drastic action. He later explained how he didn't mean what he said and started blaming me for calling off the wedding after the venue was booked and parents were involved. I guess he was embarrassed. But still we got back together. He was willing to give it a second chance, and I too thought this would be better than once again start searching for a new guy. Because I know how hard it is to get someone that I can tolerate and admire, at the same time someone who's willing to accept me. So I stick to him. A year passes by. I started giving ultimatums and finally he gave in. He wants to get married now. Yay. Fast forward a week or so, I'm at my worst. I'm paranoid, anxious, depressed and whatnot. I don't think I love him anymore. I've been dealing with borderline personality disorder for quite some time. I don't know if the illness is causing the trigger or if I really don't love him and my body is starting to reject him. I don't know if I should focus on my mental health after once again calling off the wedding, or I should suck it up, the feelings that I'm getting now, and go ahead with the wedding. Please excuse the grammatical errors as English is not my first language. Too long did not read. I think I no longer love my BF. We're about to get married in 4 months. I'm having BPD as well. Okay. I gave an ultimatum. He proposed. Do you really want someone that you have to blackmail into marrying you? I'm divorced. Just my experience. Move on. It seems like you don't really want to marry him. Instead, it just seems like you just want him to want to marry you. And those are two very different things. If you had to pester him and give him ultimatums, he doesn't actually want to marry you. This relationship sounds terrible and miserable. Y'all should just break up. Also, you need therapy. You're considering calling off your wedding for a second time. I think that's your answer. If you aren't 100% sure this is the right relationship for you, don't get married. Maybe focus on yourself and your mental health. Best wishes. I mean, all I'm hearing is the desire to check the marriage box. To me, you come across selfish and doing it for the wrong reasons. Why is getting married so important to you? What do you really think is going to change in this relationship?